You ready for this? Whee! I know, I'm climbing down, but it's like a dinosaur here. Okay, careful, honey. Don't get scared, okay? This has a skull on it, so it might be dangerous over here. They might try to scare us. Oh, I fell. I fell in the water. Is this what Daddy looks like when he swims? Is Daddy a good swimmer? No? I think...
Go, Daddy.
Daddy's a pretty good swimmer. He's okay.
Let's go down.
Don't hit me with paisa.
But you're a bad guy.
I'm a bad guy? You know, while we were on vacation, you kept saying Daddy's evil.
That's because I did.
Here, honey, come around this way. Oh, you're gonna rock paisa in the rocking chair?
I will bring it up.
Okay. What did you have for lunch today? Did you have a peanut butter jelly sandwich? Yes.
And grapes and a teaspoon.
And a cheese string. And grapes. She was so tired yesterday. No joke, we were eating at the airport Chili's in the Calgary airport. Again, big ups to Calgary. You think I'm being snobby about the Chili's? I'm actually just happy that there were things that were open. Regardless, kids menu has a grilled cheese sandwich on it. You got to remember, we woke up at like 7 a.m. Florida time, and then when did the mom phase start? We woke up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. Florida time. It was like 2 a.m. Florida time at the time this dinner happened.
I need you because I'm walking down the valley.
Don't bring your chair upstairs. I like it down here so you come and hang out with Daddy while I'm working. You don't sit on my trash can. That's for garbage. Look at that. Don't take it upstairs, honey. No. Don't take it up because it's too heavy. If you drop it, it's going to make like such a loud noise. It might even break. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me fall in the water. I'll carry your rocking chair up so that you can sit on it upstairs. You gotta move though.
It's right there.
I'll take it up, don't worry. You're welcome. Here we go, come with me. Come with me, please. Okay. So she was like insanely tired yesterday. Obviously, understandably. When we were at the Chili's, I said, honey, do you want a grilled cheese? She said, oh man, no, I don't like grilled cheese. And I said, what do you mean you don't like grilled cheese? You eat like 3 grilled cheese a week and you like it. She says, no. That like hit me a little bit. I said, what is it? She says, I don't like grilled cheese. I like grilled cheese sandwich. And I was like, oh, sorry. I forgot. Grilled cheese sandwich. Juste orange. My mistake. Then when I ordered, I said, my daughter will have the grilled cheese. And then she like whispered in my ear. She's like, grilled cheese sandwich. I said, she'll have the grilled cheese sandwich. And she was like, he got me. Let's go. Dipped in Mama Liz's Reaper oil. Whoop. Kid thought she was getting like a halloumi or something like that. Don't flatter yourself. It's Calgary's airport Chili's. Huge. I don't have anything else to say. YYC, honestly, not that bad. Honestly, I was becoming a caricature of myself. I hate to admit it, Vancouver and Calgary have a bit of a rivalry. I say rivalry because I consider it to be good-natured ribbing. I make fun of them for being yokels, and they make fun of us for housing being insanely expensive. And I say, thank you, sir, because I have one. You're basically complimenting me at this point. So basically, we always win when I construct the bit. But when I was in the airport, I was like, brother, how is Vancouver winning best airport in Canada year after year? Because YYC kind of seemed, it was cooking it a little bit. It was bigger. It seemed like, well, I mean, I only flew out or flew in once, but had like lots of open restaurants, had a cool Pentaverate style tram that took you from terminal to terminal. Sorry, I didn't mean YY. No, YVR is the one that it's Vancouver. That wins Airport of the Year in Canada every year. And I've always been like base, because it clears fucking Toronto. Toronto's bad. The great thing about Toronto, you're like, thank God it's not Montreal. Tram in an airport equals poorly constructed airport. Okay, Squeaks, listen, we already have one pedantic economics guy here, okay? It's me, and then the chatter that fulfills that role is DL Guiga. I think a tram in an airport can be, sometimes I think it's necessary. You ever realize, like, how amazing an airport is? I don't know if I can, I have to just hold it here for a second. The inside of an airport is so mysterious to me. You go to the ticketing agent, you scan your boarding pass, you give them your suitcase, they put it on a conveyor belt, the conveyor belt gets sucked up into the back. You then go through security, get on your airplane, fly, land, and then you see a conveyor belt coming out from the guts of the airport that brings your bag back to you. What is, I mean, I understand that it's not conveyor belts like all the way, like they put it on the plane, but at the same time, I'm like, what, this must be a fucking mess back there, bro. And you're not allowed to see it at all. You're not allowed to go back. I was kind of pleased with YYC. I was not pleased with the Orlando airport. There's still, something's not right there, okay? Now listen, it took us an hour. We landed at 12:40 a.m. last week. It took us an hour for our bags to come out on the conveyor belt in Orlando. Oh, that's the airplane. The airline handles that, not the airport. Oh, really? Because the same airline seems to be getting your luggage out in 5 to 10 minutes when you're at any other airport in the world. The Orlando airport, apparently not. I know it's the back rooms back there. It's the airport. It's hell on earth. It's dog doo-doo. It's Florida. YWG's hilariously bad. Bro, listen, I know you're probably never going to go here, but try flying into YGK sometimes. What's YGK? Kingston, Ontario, bro. Population 120,000. You know how they say show up 3 hours before your flight? Or 2 hours if it's domestic? You could literally show up probably like 30 seconds before your flight. I think it's an airport where you could actually tell them to just hold, you could call and be like, I'm going to be 2 minutes late. Can you just hold the plane? And they'd be like, sure, no problem. Like the same person does the ticketing and then does the security. and then is at the gate scanning your boarding pass, and it all took place within like 5 minutes. And you're like, what are you really need to scan this again? Like, I literally just got it from you like less than 10 minutes ago. I know my seat. It's 4. You don't, yeah. Hey, 4. Oh, that's on the right side of the airplane. Yeah, I know. It's the only side with seats on it, bro. Let me guess. It's just behind number 3 and in front of number 5. Oh, no, my bad. There is no number 5. That's the lavatory. Hang on. You got it. You got it. You got it. Oh, good. Oh, fantastic. Here we go. Here we go. Bush me. 290 electoral college votes in 2004 be like Bush me. Or 38 divided by 2. 265 electoral college voters in 2000 be like Bush me. Actually, 7 Supreme Court justices in 2000 be like Bush. Was 7? You got 7 or 9 there? You got 9? There's no way you got 8, right? Because who wins in a tie? 9. Holy. It's so makeable. Can I say something beer snobby? And I think we've done this exact bit before, but I want to reiterate it again. We as a society need... Can I say something about beer? And you can plus to me or minus to me, I don't care. We as a consumer base need to band together and kill Michelob Ultra. It can't be allowed to propagate. Bad beer tends to be expensive, marketed as a low-calorie beer, but has the same amount of calories as Miller Lite, which actually has some flavor. We need to kill Michelob Ultra. It has no reason to exist. It occupies a niche that should have no consumers. Do not drink it. Don't let the marketing get to you. I know they got skinny people with 6-packs drinking Michelob Ultras in the ads. Drink a Miller Lite. There's a respectable blue-collar sensibility to it. Anyway, that's all I got. Woo. I'm not supposed to be here. Squeaks, where do I go? Where do I go from here? I guess down. Do Miller Lights taste better? Michelob Ultra, I don't even mean this to, like, it doesn't say anything about your personality, you know? It's just a beverage. But as someone who drinks beer, it tastes like nothing. And I don't even mean in like a Coors Light kind of like, you know, it's watery. I mean, like, it tastes like a glass of water that you squeeze like a chemical into or something like that. Hang on, this way. Thank you. That's his biggest strength. Well, then just drink a Coors Light, bro. I know you're like, I can't drink a Coors Light. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science. I promise you can. We can find a common ground here. Not the Michelob Ultra. I'm just begging you, not the Michelob Ultra, okay? Not the tech CEO ultra marathoner 100-calorie beer. Come down here with the common man. You can get something that does the same thing for you, but doesn't carry the same kind of weight. I can't make it, man. I can't make it. I can make it. Okay, I'm going to go higher because I understand how gravity works. Here we go. Not even close. Not even in the ballpark. Not even in the vicinity. What's a sane amount of Oreos to eat in one sitting? I honestly think, and again, we're embracing gluttony a little bit. I'm in my gluttony era. But I do want to say, cookies are a food where you have to grab however many you think is sane to eat, and then take them out of the package and bring them to your couch. Do not bring the whole bag/box of cookies to the couch. You will eat too many. You might be able to self-moderate with some other snacks, but like you need, it's like, you know, Ernest Hemingway said, write drunk, edit sober. You should pick your snack and the quantity of it, if it's a cookie, before the dopamine hits your brain. Because when the dopamine hits your brain, your decision-making is going to be clouded. Your judgment is going to be compromised by the neurotransmitter. Now chips, you get a bag, you pour the bag into a bowl, you finish the bowl, you go back to the cabinet, you fill the bowl up again. Then you go back to the cabinet and you're like, I just want a couple more chips. When you pick up the bag, you realize it's more than halfway done. You're like, well, I'm not going to save 38% of a potato chip bag for tomorrow. So then you just eat until you feel sick, and then the next day you have like one handful of chips, and then you're like, oh, it took me 2 days to eat the bag. I understand that logic. Do not cite the old words to me, which I was there when they were written. Hold. Do you like the Canucks trade? I'm out of the loop. I'm out of the loop. What happens? I was happy to see we were washed when I left, and we were goated when I came back. I appreciated that. There was none. Oh, okay. They traded for Joe Biden. Let's go. Woo. They traded the other Elias Pettersson. No, they didn't. You're trying to bait me. Demko's out 2 to 4 weeks. I thought he just had gastroenteritis. He wasn't just pooping? Go, go, go. NFL trades popping off. Yeah, I gotta like catch up on the real world again. I've been in it like a cruise ship, and then the places you go when you're off the cruise ship might be the least real parts of planet Earth. Maybe Las Vegas is like a little, no, honestly, because you see realness in Vegas. It's you see the underside of the rock where the bugs are crawling. There's something, I hate it, but I respect it at least. That I'm like, this is people living their real life at their most like id-driven level. Shoop. But like the cruise is fake, which is cool because it's a lot of fun. But okay, what the fuck do you do here, man? What the fuck do you do? What do you do? Hold with both hands and swing more. Okay, you don't want your tibias crossed here. Or your ulnar, what is this called? Your radius? Yeah, okay, listen, we fell, but I think that's absolutely going to work. You live, you learn. Radius is on the thumb side. Okay, know it all. Listen, that was not called for. I don't know human anatomy that well. The bones, at least, the nerves. I don't really know the sound they make. I got it wrong. I don't know what it's called. I just know the sound it makes when it takes a man's life. Nick Nolte, Tropic Thunder. I made this. You got to go from the barrel. Better or worse than getting over it? Here's my new thing. This is my resolution that'll last for about 2 streams. We're done pitting 2 bad bitches against each other. Is Balatro better than Slay the Spire? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You can have both. I reject the premise of the question. You can have both. Balatro or Slay the Spire? I reject the question. I don't have to choose. We can have both. You have to choose. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Balatro or Slay the Spire? I reject the premise of the question. Elden Ring or Pal World? Elden Ring. I do not reject the premise of the question. Limmy or NL? Limmy. Next question. I don't reject the premise of the question. I do think, like, this was my tweet in the Uber on the way to the airport. I think a tier list of months would go crazy. I also realized that, like, half of the people replying to that tweet are literally, like, 14 years old. Why does so many people go, like, yeah, like, March is pretty good, but the best month is, like, month that has my birthday in it. Like, I guess, like, live your life. I didn't realize I was the only honest individual. As a Canadian, my birthday is in November. And I'm content saying November is an unremarkable month. Colder than October in a bad way. No holiday except for American Thanksgiving and Remembrance Day. And then it's got Halloween just before it, so you're coming off of a high and going down to nothing. And then it's got the Christmas holidays right after it. So it's just kind of like this little dopamine valley where I'm like, outside of my birthday, November, it ain't got much. The worst month, I was happy to see there was basically a consensus. The worst month is February, and January is close behind. Like, January at least has New Year's. February has nothing, man. February is just like, it's like the surplus month where we're like, how many days do we need to round out the year? It's cold as fuck. People are like really getting excited for Groundhog Day. Come on. It's ridiculous. March, you compare it to May. If we went May to March, we would be like, March sucks ass. But the fact that we're going February to March makes March seem amazing. Sun's so bright right now. Yeah, it's raining, but like the weather's pretty nice. It always feels better to ascend out of winter than to descend into it. Like, if it's 10 degrees Celsius in March, you're saying, brother, maybe it's shorts weather. Maybe it's shorts and t-shirt weather today. When it's 10 degrees Celsius in October, you're like, I needed my winter coat. Like, there's a very different feeling depending on the way, the direction that you enter the temperature. Top tier months, I mean, I feel like most people are going to be on the same page. The best month of the year, if you're being honest, the best month of the year, I only take you seriously if you say May, June, or July. May, beautiful scenery, beautiful weather, certainly not too hot. June, same thing, but then sometimes you also get perhaps a vacation, or perhaps school is not in session anymore. Even though, you know, I've been conditioned to think of like the end of June, at least in Canada, as like something to be excited about, just because of the fact that, you know, there was like 20 years of going to school where that was when we finally got summer vacation. July for me feels like peak holiday season. August also great, but sometimes it can be a little too hot. Depends on where you live. It's very weather dependent, but I think like the summer months in the northern hemisphere go crazy. Spring and fall are in competition next. What's crazy though is that like it's kind of like Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Like the winter months suck ass, but December is the only month that comes close to being an MVP contender. Depending on the industry and the role in which you work in, you might get 2 weeks off. You see your family, you give presents, you get presents, you eat yummy food, you cuddle up by the fireplace, everything's festive, etc., etc. November, definitely not it. January, not it. February, probably the worst month. And then spring and fall, I think this, you know, it's dealer's choice. September's kind of nice. Like those first few days of it being a little chilly are nice. Until you remember that you're like, this is the best weather we're going to have until like 5 months from now. We make these.
Yeah.
I love the cold guy who lives in San Diego. Listen, though, librarian, I'll level with you. When I was in San Diego last October, or last November, I guess, it was cold as fuck. Like West Coast cold. Like I was wearing a sweatshirt, and I was like, I should have brought a jacket. Like, you're California, bro. Be hot. Wait, I remember. Come here. Why are you always talking to a librarian and not regular chatters? Ask better questions. Make better comments. God, hurtful. I don't know. Why am I always fucking calling my parents instead of just like a random person? Because I have respect for them. We have acquaintanceship or a relationship where communication, you know, it comes easily. Of course. And now I have size 32 feet. Check, could this possibly be real? Is that like Guinness records worthy?
Yeah.
Like that's huge. Oh, size 32 Europe? What is size 32 Europe, bro? Isn't European shoe sizes are just centimeters? Me trying to maintain my angry voice while realizing that's like a way saner way to do it. I'm like, size 45, I don't know what centimeters? Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Instead, I gotta go, in North America, every shoe is a different size. People are like, what shoe are you? And I'm like, I wear anywhere between an 11 and a half to a 14, depending on which motherfucker made it. Hang on, it's so makeable. Can I tell you something, by the way? Maybe this will save you. We've saved people a lot. One thing that we've saved people with, I'm about to get scared, aren't I? Was telling them that if you get frequent sores in your mouth, check and see if your toothpaste has an ingredient called SLS. It's like sodium lauryl sulfate or something like that. It's commonly used in tooth whitening toothpaste. A certain that's fine. a certain percentage of the population, their mouth gets very irritated by it, and it leads to very painful sores in the mouth. Someone in chat saved me when I was talking about it, and now I like to pass on that information as much as possible. Now, here's another piece of advice I'm going to give you. I hated going skiing because every time I went skiing, I have like a pretty big foot, I'll admit. And I'm not bragging, it's actually like part of the annoyance here. I would get ski boots, and after like an hour of skiing, it would feel like my toes were so in pain that they were going to fall off. And then some people would say that's normal. And some people would say, no, you actually need to go a size up in your boot. And I said, that makes sense. My shoes probably are hurting my toes because they're too small. Went up a size, same problem. Went up a size, same problem. Went up a size, same problem. And now I'm up there like, they're really like, you need a size 13 and a half ski boot? Like you're fucking 5'10", bro. Why are you lying here? That's weird. We have friends who... one of them is a hobbyist skier. And I said, yeah, I used to like go skiing now and then, but it hurt my feet so bad that I just decided like I'd take up snowboarding instead because the boots are softer. And then she's like, oh yeah, that happens all the time. It means your boots are too big. That's some information that maybe would have been useful to the 19-year-old Australian kid who's given everybody their ski boots. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Every time I have ski boots, they hurt. And they're like, oh, it sounds rough, mate. That's like the one tip you should know, man. It turns out, if your feet are going numb and hurting a lot, you need to get smaller boots so that your feet don't move around and bump into the toe and constantly, like, cause pain there. Little did it work? Well, I don't know. I started learning how to snowboard in January of 2020, and then the rest is history. Whee! Why, what happened? Well, like, I snowboarded a few times, and I wouldn't say I was like learning how to do it very well, but I was starting to make a little bit of progress. And then we were like, next season, maybe I'll take it more seriously. And then COVID happened and kicked off for like 2 years. In that period, we also had a child. I wouldn't say I'm more nervous than the average person, but like, I'm not one of those people who's going to take, like, our daughter's 3.5 now. She's a little older, but I'm not taking my 1 or 2-year-old to the fucking ski hill. It's insane to me that you're allowed to go to the ski hill and it's just kind of like buyer beware. Like, you don't have to pass a test or anything. Skiing is way more fucking dangerous. At least it feels more dangerous than driving, bro. And you got to go through some serious red tape to learn how to drive, which, by the way, I'm for. But like, you literally just press the pedal to go and you press the pedal to stop. And like, that's it. On skis, you're like pizza and French fry, but the pizza doesn't work all the time. Sometimes you really got to dig your feet into the crust, and then you're like, you're skiing like through trees, basically. Like, even the tracks that are like well maintained, you're like one sneeze away from going over the edge and like being face down in a snow pile or something like that, or smashing your head on a tree trunk. That was huge. I could do this. Is Mission Impossible too. I could do this in real life. Helmets exist? Oh, well, I guess nobody's ever been injured or killed skiing then. Two can play that game. Helmets exist, motherfucker. Discourse Andy. You in debate club in the 9th grade. Helmets exist. A+. Nobody's ever tried that technique before. Okay, well, we go again. Shouldn't we all wear helmets when driving? I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't think it could help. Yeah, you're right. That's what the airbag is for. Oh. It's crazy the airbag comes out in time, man. Skiing is actually not that dangerous. Well, here's the thing. I agree with what you're saying. You know, probably tens of millions of people do it every year and don't get injured. But at the same time, it kind of is that dangerous on the scope of, like, comparing it to other activities that people tend to do. Like, when you're skiing, at any given point, you're like one leg cramp away from possibly being in a dangerous situation. I was feeling like that when I was swimming, too. I did a lot of swimming while we were on vacation. I can swim. When you're a kid, you like, I don't know, you're just buoyant. And also, like, in better cardiovascular shape, and you weigh a lot less. As an adult, there were some times where I was like, like, man, I'm getting kind of winded out here. And then you look around and you're like, well, I guess it's like your body sends you a quick little lightning bolt that's like, are you going to die today? And you're like, I'm going to try not to. And then it's like, okay, here's some adrenaline. And then you're like, you get, you know, your wife and your daughter are chilling on the beach. You get back and you're like, you're hiccuping. Hey, how was it out there? It was good. It was good. I had a good time. So relaxing. So relaxing. I'm very comfortable in the water. But it's more like, I'm not even necessarily suggesting that they're dangerous. But I think that, like, it's insane to me. Well, I think they are dangerous, and I think some people are being disingenuous. But I also think the fact that they don't make you take the necessary precautions to prove that you know how to ski before you get on the mountain is fucking insane. Now, I don't know how they would implement it. I'm merely being an observing problems Andy, not an offering solutions Andy. But I learned to ski on a field trip when I was like 10. When you're a kid, you just fall down, get back up again. You're never going to keep me down. Kate was like, it'd been 15 years since I went skiing. She was like, do you want a lesson? I was like, no, I know how to ski. You go up the fucking gondola, start skiing. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck to ski. And the trail is like wide, and some of the trails are really, really wide. But even then, you're like, you got to rely on people to take like a consistent path, like a predictable path. Because no disrespect, really good skiers, you guys are annoying as fuck. I'm sure some of you are like very professional and you're like, I'm going to give newcomers like a wide berth. But some of you are like shithouse drunk or on mushrooms and are just zooming down the mountain at like Mach 500, coming like a centimeter away from everybody else on the ski hill. It's very intimidating as somebody that's trying to learn the damn ropes. And here's the thing. I wish I wasn't there either. I wish there was like a more self-contained environment where they were like, you got to Gran Turismo and get the C-class license before we like, you should have to like scan a QR code that they give you when you've proven proficiency, and then the chairlift opens up to you. The fact that they let you make the mistake of going up the mountain is crazy. You need a license to ski? Well, I'm just saying, you know, like for the safety of everybody, it would probably help. If you, like, there should be, here's what I'm thinking, okay? There's a proficiency ski hill. When you ski down it, The instructor, there's like a guard at the bottom that watches the whole time. If you make it to the bottom and you appeared to be comfortable, they give you the password. They go like, Stroopwafel. Then you go to the ski chair and you got to say the password in order for the chair to open up. Otherwise, they put you on the lift that goes to the proficiency hill. And you can do the proficiency hill as many times as you want, of course. Also, I thought I had something else to say, but maybe I don't. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Then people die on the proficiency hill? Skill difference. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. The other thing is, like, there's, like, activities where if you get in, like, over your head, you just back the fuck out, right? You're like, I'm not built for this shit. I'm out. If your ass is like, I'm going to run a marathon, and then you get a mile into the run, and you're like, I don't know how to run, you just walk off to the side and, like, disappear into the crowd like Kaiser Soze. If you go up the gondola, like, and you ski a little bit down, there's only one fucking direction you can go, dude. Your ass is not going to climb back up the hill to get on the gondola and ride it down. You got to ski down to either the bottom of the hill or the next gondola station. Like, you got to go, man. I've walked before and it's miserable. My fingernails hurt just from watching that. I mean, I don't know if I've walked down a ski hill, but I've definitely, like, gone up to the top of Whistler and then skied, like, 2 legs of the 17 legs down and been like, brother, fuck this. And then just gone and rode the gondola down to the bottom instead. I mean, I like the sensation of skiing. It's just kind of like, sometimes it's just too intense. Like, you give me the choice, so I'd rather, like, you know, be in the chalet eating a pulled pork sandwich, or like like thinking that I'm going to get a concussion every 10 minutes when I'm out on the mountain, my toes feeling like they're going to fall off. I'm like, just give me the pulled pork sandwich, bro. Snowboarding kind of fun, though. I kind of like snowboarding. I'll stay on the bunny hill all day. But the other thing is, focused Andes don't understand the thrill that comes from meditation. Even as a kid, I was like this. Learn how to ski on the bunny hill. Master skiing on the bunny hill. People are like, why don't you go to the blue circle? Why don't you go to the green circle? Well, I don't know the shapes, right? I say, brother, I just achieved mastery on the bunny hill. I'm enjoying the serenity of mastery. I know every nook and cranny on this bunny hill. I know the parts that are iced over, because that's where all the lessons took place. I know the parts where the sun is hitting it and it's melted the powder a little bit. You get a little extra speed on that. This is my home. Like, it's the otter and the beaver are my friends, you know? And we are all connected to another in a loop and in a cycle that never ends. And then they're like, no, why don't you start from square fucking one on a hill you've never seen before? Brother, this is my garden. Are you crazy? The skier and the snowboarder arrive from their lift with a sense of purpose.